time. I now call the meeting of the Sumner County Board of Education for March 24th, 2020 to order. First item on the agenda is roll call. Mr. Johnson, would you take the roll?
Sir. Ms. Hayes.
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. Bachman.
Here.
Ms. Andrews.
Here.
Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Ms. Hawkins.
Here.
Mr. Daniels.
Here.
Mr. Wise.
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Gregory.
Here.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Here.
Chairman Burrow.
Here.
All members present.
All members present. All right. Next item on the agenda is the discussion and or action regarding conducting the meeting via electronic means in accordance with the governor's executive order. We need a motion.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Wilkerson, I believe. Second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor will be answered by the roll. Mr. Johnson, would you take the roll?
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Bachman.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Yes.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Chairman Burrow.
Yes. Motion carries.
Passes unanimously.
Next item on the agenda is adoption of the regular agenda. Approval, an alternate to King Topic. Approval of regular agenda as presented. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Johnson, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Ms. Hayes.
Yeah, whatever.
Bachman.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Yes.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Chairman Burrow.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is adoption of consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Wilkerson, second by Ms. Bachman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer the roll. Mr. Johnson.
Screen. Ms. Hayes. Ms. Bachman.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Yes.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Chairman Burrow.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, next item on the agenda is consideration of minutes, discussion and interaction regarding the minutes of the February 18th, 2020 regular meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion approved by Mr. Gregory, second by
Second.
Ms. Andrews. Any discussion? Seeing none, vote by roll. Mr. Johnson.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Bachman.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Yes.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Chairman Burrow.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, next item on the agenda is reports from the director. Dr. Phillips.
All right, I just want to give you guys just a couple of things to keep it brief. One, obviously the information that we get daily and try to give out about the situation with COVID-19 changes daily, sometimes multiple times in a day, but we're trying our best to stay abreast of it and keep good information that we feel like is relevant for our principals and other folks out there and informed, and you guys as well. We had a good Zoom video call this morning with the principals. We start feeding the lunches at the sites tomorrow. Mr. Langford is working on releasing later in the week some instructional resources for parents to use, and so we'll get all of that stuff pushed out by the end of the week and message to parents. Obviously, you know, we felt like there were going to be some decisions made early this week that would regarding the school closures, and of course that came through today, and I'm sure all of you saw that email from JJ where we're going to be out now through the 24th, and that increases the need for the work that Mr. Langford and his team have done since before spring break, actually, to get ready to push out resources for parents. We knew if we were going to be in the delayed situation where we were out for more than a week or so past spring break, we would need to be prepared to do that. So just know that that's coming if you have parents that are asking you about that. We've also been encouraged because so many of our principals and teachers have already been out there doing things with their kiddos. And making sure that we have contact with students and parents, and I know teachers are going to continue to do that, probably even more of an effort to do that in the next coming days and weeks, since we're going to be out here for an extended period of time. So really just want you to know those things are happening, and you'll see that stuff start to come out from instruction in Scott's office here in the next day or so. And I think that will certainly certainly help with those parents that are wanting to do something with their child or children at home and give them some good resources to use. So really just wanted to give you that little brief update about what you can expect to see in the next several days, and what we're doing here to try to not only feed children, but also make sure that the academic portion of it, we're trying to do our best to take care of that too.
All right, thank you, Dr. Phillips.
I have a question. Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, Ms. Andrews.
There's been lots of questions regarding high school, lots of activities going on with that. Will there be like an FAQ maybe that we're getting together to be able to release so that we're making sure that factual information is pushed out to those parents?
We will as soon as we get some. We've not really gotten any definitive answers from the state. We've asked a lot of questions, and of course they're down there trying to make some decisions and work with federal law and state law. And even though a lot of those things have been waived, how we handle things like graduation, AP classes, transcripts, grades, what happens to grades, all those kind of things, Sarah, probably are what you're talking about. We're still kind of waiting on them to tell us if there's going to be direction or if we're just going to get to decide as a district. And right now that's up in the air, but we've sent all of those questions to TDOE, and I know they're working on them. They have a conference call almost daily. They're just kind of drinking water out of a fire hose too, so to speak, and doing the best they can to try to navigate the questions, the answers, and make sure they comply with either the waiver or if it's something that they're going to have to give us direction or let us decide. So we may be in a position at some point in the next 3 weeks that we have to, as a district, decide some of those things, and we'll make sure that we do that collectively with you guys before we do it.
Question.
Ms. Brown.
I would like to know if it's possible for the teachers who are not working with students to write up a unit plan each week that could be used later to videotape.
So I'm going to let Scott answer that. I think some of the things that we're trying to do with Zoom video and some other stuff probably may take the place of that, especially with some stuff that the state's going to roll out that are prepared lessons that go along with the curriculum. But I think some of that stuff's coming. but Scott can probably answer that better than I can. I'll let Scott answer it.
Yeah, I think, Ms. Brown, we're going to have to be creative because there's not one medium that will reach everybody. Like, not everybody has access to computer. So we just have to do a lot of different things to try to get instruction in the hands of our kids. One real positive that we found out today is the state, TDOE is going to have, they've chosen schools in each grade band to video lessons that they're going to play on PBS. And then they're going to try to broadcast them over the radio as well. They're working with radio stations right now to find access to that. And so 6 of our Sumner County teachers are going to video lessons later this week that will be broadcast starting on April 6th on television. So we're going to be a part of the plan to help find a solution. So, we're going to exhaust every creative means that we can to get lessons in the hands of teachers. But Ms. Brown, like one of the things that we're planning on having every teacher do is contact every kid in their class at least once a week, hopefully multiple times. And honestly, most of them already are. They've really done a tremendous job. If you look on Twitter and Facebook and everything like that, they're calling kids and reading books to them. They're doing Zooms. They're doing all kinds of things. So, I think the real positive for us in this is we've got great principals and great teachers. And we're going to try to, we're going to make some mistakes and it'll be a little rough at first, but each day we're going to get a little better at getting instruction to our kids.
Great.
Thank you, Ms. Lane.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions on that? If not, moving on. Next item on the agenda under new business, discussion and interaction regarding the naming of White House High School baseball field. Is there a motion first?
I'd like to make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve by Mr. Wise. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Daniels. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer the roll. Mr. Johnson.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Ms. Bachman.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Ms. Andrews. The loser.
Oh, wait, hang on. Somehow.
Ms. Andrews, you with us?
All right, Ms. Andrews, go ahead now.
Thanks for muting me, Scott. I
I did not mute you.
He's the only one that's got the controls, Sarah. Mr. Duncan. Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Aye.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson. Hang on, you've been muted too, Mr. Wilkerson.
I'm not sure what happened.
You with us now, David?
Hang on, it's still out.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you now.
Got you back now, sorry.
We had some kind of glitch here and I died, but I'm back up, so.
All right.
Yes.
Just in time to vote.
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Next item on the agenda. Oh, I will. Well, I was in one of these things the other day, and you might keep in mind if you have any background noise, like the dog barking or something, if you'll hit your mute button, that would probably help that. We had 58 people on the other one the other day, and there was all kinds of stuff going on. So anyway, just thought I'd let you know that. Next item on the agenda is discussion and interaction regarding K-8 textbook adoption. Is there a motion?
so moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gregory, second by Ms. Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer the roll. Ms. Hayes.
Yes. Exclamation point.
Ms. Bachman.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins.
Aye.
Mr. Daniels.
Yes.
Mr. Wise.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, next item on the agenda is discussion and interaction regarding easement on Albert Gallatin Road. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion approved by Mr. Wilkerson, second by
Second.
Second by Ms. Hayes. Discussion?
Let me tell you guys what this is. We have had an easement, the school board has had an easement beside the funeral home on Albert Gallatin Road that kind of is to the back of Benny Bills Elementary. Are you familiar with that? Here in Gallatin, and that's been there, I'm assuming, since the school was built. I'm sure they did that at the time because of access. They thought they might cut the road into the school there, but it wound up being through the Civic Center and then the road that bends around by the animal shelter. So it was never used. Roll forward many years, and the owner of that parcel that gave the school board the easement wants to give us quitclaim the property, give us the property, so it's no longer an easement, it's actual school property, so they don't have to continue paying taxes on that small portion of easement in the future. So this is a good thing. It's an existing piece of property that the school board's had an easement on for years. We don't want to relinquish the easement because in the future, you never know. We may need to cut a road in there to the back of that school if something developed and we couldn't use the other road, or it became too busy, or traffic was too bad. So this is a good thing. It's been kind of in the works since Christmas or so. I would recommend that you guys accept this property. Instead of having an easement, now the school board will own it, and it's not a financial concern. They do not want paid for the property. They would just prefer for the school board to own it and not have an easement.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer the roll.
Ms. Hayes,
Yes.
Ms. Bachman,
Yes.
Ms. Andrews,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan,
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins,
Aye.
Mr. Daniels,
Yes.
Mr. Wise,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next item on the agenda, unfinished business, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the general purpose budget. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Daniels, second
Second.
by Ms. Andrews. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer the roll.
Ms. Hayes,
Yes.
Ms. Bachman,
Yes.
Ms. Andrews,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan,
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins,
Aye.
Mr. Daniels,
Yes.
Mr. Wise,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next item on the agenda, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the federal budget. Is there a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Wilkerson, second by Ms. Brown. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, answer by the roll.
Ms. Hayes,
Yes.
Ms. Bachman,
Yes.
Ms. Andrews,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan,
Yes.
Ms. Hawkins,
Aye.
Mr. Daniels,
Yes.
Mr. Wise,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Next item on the agenda, I'm gonna let Dr. Phillips talk about this, discussion of study session items. Dr. Phillips.
We obviously will have some things for study session. We have the policies that we had up that we pushed off of tonight's agenda just because we knew we are going to do this electronic meeting. But We'll get with you guys. Obviously, we know that we're going to have school closure during the time that we would have our April study session. I'll talk with Chairman Brewer, and if there are things on there that are not just earth shattering that we could move to May, then we may entertain polling the board to see if we want to cancel that meeting or not. But we'll just get with you guys and talk to you before we get to that point in time. We'll just kind of see how things go between now and then, if that's okay with everybody.
Sounds good.
Good. Well, Mr. Brewer, JJ, Mr. Brewer, and I'll be in touch with you about that as we kind of move forward in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what we think everybody thinks is best to do. Okay.
Okay.
All right, next item on the agenda, and before we get to that, I would like to say that it is Miss Bachman's birthday today. So happy birthday.
I know.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alice.
Miss Bachman.
Happy birthday, Alice.
And with that, we'll go to comments from board members. Ms. Hayes?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Brewer. Well, I know that I'm the first one to start, and everybody else will chime in and agree. In times of challenges, crisis, in this case, a pandemic, which is unprecedented in our lifetime, we do realize what we're made of. And I am just so grateful. Dr. Phillips, just the instruction team, our nutrition team last week, just the tireless efforts. Jeremy's trying to have a vacation at the beach, and I know we've all contacted him at least 20 times a day.
Let's not say that too loud.
Bless him. I know, but I'm glad you got to go. But there's so many people that have just worked, and we still got more work to do as we continue just to educate these kiddos, and it's just looking different than we thought it was going to look like, but we'll do an excellent job at it, just like we always do. So thank you. And everyone, I'm praying just everybody stay healthy and well.
Yep. Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Ms. Bachman?
Yes, and I will echo what Ms. Hayes said, everything that she said, and appreciate everything so much that Dr. Phillips and Scott and everyone has done to try to get us through this period of time that we have never experienced before. So thoughts and prayers with everyone, and thank you all for birthday wishes. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Bachman. Ms. Andrews?
Yeah, just like I said, I want to say thank you to Dr. Phillips and to JJ, but most especially to Scott. Obviously, we know that he's been juggling a lot with the schools and so forth and doing an excellent job, but at the same time, Scott wears multiple hats and has also been juggling things as far as with the county commission and so forth. And so I just want to say how thankful I am for everyone's leadership, specifically Scott for your leadership, and just trying to navigate as best we can with, like you said, as things are changing moment by moment. Last week was very chaotic, I know, especially with people on spring break, so I appreciate that. JJ doing a great job posting things. I think Scott helped you a little bit too with posting things on Facebook. And as I told you earlier, hey, you just cut me off, and I was just fixing to say that you gave Andy Brown a run for his money this week.
Oh,
yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for all that you're doing.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. Mr. Duncan?
First of all, I just want to let everybody know that everybody seems, in Sumner County, seems to be doing the right thing. We're still in a very serious situation throughout our county, and we need people to cooperate so we can get through this. So I want to encourage people to continue to do that. It's very important that people do that. On a lighter note, I'd like to brag on two principals in my district, Kenny Powell and Eric Bowman. What they've done on social media to get the kids' attention, to let them know they're still there, it's awesome. Got a lot to office, they're going above and beyond to be able to reach their kids. That's awesome. And that's all I've got. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Ms. Hawkins?
Yes, I just wanted to say that in all of my 60 years of being on this earth, the last 9 months have been the craziest that I have experienced. And I echo Ms. Hayes when she says that we do find out what we're made out of. we do find out how strong we are. I find myself remembering things that my grandmothers said. They were going through things in their time with pandemics and world wars and things that seemed so distant to me. And now I'm beginning to really understand what they must have seen at that time. With that being said, I think about the children now going through this and how frightening it must be to have something so awful happening in their lives. And I'm thankful for our school board, number one, for doing what you can to help keep their lives as normal as you can with the technology and with the planning and with the food. So I appreciate you welcoming me into this group, and I hope to do everything I can to do my share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo everything that everyone said, and thank you guys for all of your hard work. I know it's been kind of crazy. I think all of us that have other jobs are trying to deal with the change as well. And I'm here at the house, and I got 5 kids, and not all of us are going to survive, I don't think. But the sooner you can get us some stuff, Scott, the better off we'll be. We've gone through puzzling games already, so I don't know what to arrange. I'd be grateful for that. So I'm just in about time. But seriously, thank you guys for all you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Mr. Wise?
Yes, much appreciation for all from here, and ditto to what everybody else has said. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. Ms. Brown?
I'd like to thank the teachers that have made an effort on their own to reach out to their students.
Yeah.
It's very important that they keep some contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I do appreciate Dr. Phillips and Scott Langford, because y'all are under the gun. And believe me, it'll probably get crazier before it gets better. But this too shall pass.
Yep.
Yes, amen.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Gregory?
Just thank everybody for the efforts they've done.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Mr. Wilkerson?
Hey, you guys rock. I know as crazy as it's been at the hospital, it's probably been just as crazy there. And you're looking forward, making sure that all our students are safe and that we're going to nip this in the bud as best possible. I do have a question, and I think I already know the answer. State testing and all of that goes out the window, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because I've had some teachers ask if it was going to count against them, and I told them I didn't think so, but I'd check it out. But we'll get through this. Everybody stay in as much as possible, especially if you're over the age of 55. And don't let nobody in that might be contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're to assume everyone is.
Yeah, right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wilkerson. I'll end with this comment. I appreciate everybody too. Appreciate y'all being here and working with us through this trying time. I am proud of our leadership. I think we got the leadership that needs to be in place to navigate us through this. And so I appreciate all y'all's support with that. I do feel led to tell you that there is a cure to this. You can find it in 2 Chronicles 7:14.
Amen.
With that, we are adjourned.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Well,
I miss y'all.
miss you too.
Miss you all too.
Stay safe.